live pretty soon.
Man, how was your day?
My day was good. Work yesterday was a little chaotic, but today was a lot more better, I'd say.
You're still IT for schools?
Yep. I'm still doing IT work.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been cool. Let me just see. Okay, yep. Now we are live. Let me just make sure.
Did you go back to school for that, or you just or are you just able to do it after?
Um, I got a job. Where it was like it didn't have a ton of requirements as like a general technician. Um, and basically they just tested me on whether or not I could do the job, and I was able to do it. I mean, I've always been like semi computer savvy, not super. Well, now I would consider myself, but back then I wouldn't. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's just like with tech, it's really you just need hands-on experience, and once you get hands-on experience, then it's pretty easy. After that, but actually, hold on one moment. I will share my screen with you for this one because before we start, obviously the title is inflammatory. I've seen a lot of praise for Daredevil, and let's just say I have my issues. I have my issues with it.
I haven't seen any reviews. I kind of went into it completely blind, so
okay,
to have my own opinion of it. So
fair. I did the same too. Everything was a genuine reaction. Like I actually when I went to go watch it, I was like so excited about it. My fiance was seeing how I was very excited about it. We watched all 3 seasons, so we could be prepared. And
hey, cool.
Yeah, but before we do that, I just shared my screen with you. Let me know if you see it. I don't know.
Yeah, I see it.
I don't know if you know anything about this, but the CW like 3 or 4 years back was going to make this Powerpuff Girls live action reboot.
I remember that. We read the script for that. Wait, that
Did we read the script? Oh, that's right. That was, but I never published that video. I don't think.
You didn't.
Yeah.
It got too off the rails.
Yeah, it went way off. That's right. I remember it went like completely off the rails. But so the trailer leaked online. Have you seen this at all?
No, I have not.
Okay, so this is a good, genuine first reaction. I figured let's do this so everyone can agree, because everyone universally agrees this is shit. Before I start going on about Daredevil and why I don't like it, or Daredevil Born Again, I should say. But yeah, let's watch this wonderful masterpiece.
All
right, here we go.
Some was constantly stressed.
Wait, is it daylight savings?
Buttercup was constantly rebellious.
I'm not wearing that dress anymore. It's gender normative and...
I already hear you.
Huh? What the fuck? Bro, okay.
Okay, yeah.
Why did Buttercup have to be the woke one? Why? Out of all the ones, why did Buttercup got to be the woke one? My God.
Ass ugly.
And Bubbles was constantly drinking.
Go get him!
And on one fateful day, the girls made a fatal error.
Look at that green screen background. Oh, Lord.
I'm pretty sure this is a beta trailer. There's no way this is.
Probably, yeah. They're obviously they didn't go into full production. Although obviously a pilot was filmed. I would love to see that pilot. If the trailer is leaked, I would love to see the pilot.
If the pilot comes out, we'll do a watch party. I gotta see that shit.
Yes,
we gotta
absolutely.
See that shit.
But I guess it's alluding to it. I guess when the script leaked, they like accidentally killed someone, right? And they're like, "Oh, that's when we decided not to be Powerpuff Girls anymore." Or I vaguely remember something along those lines. But
I mean, I think I still have the script on my drive or something,
Yeah.
and the recording. But yeah,
All right.
Costing Mojo his life. In the wake of disaster, Blossom ran away. Buttercup became a real hero. And Bubbles, well, she made it all.
Became a real hero. Like, you could be a
firefighter.
superhero and a firefighter and still be in the same category as a hero. Like, it's like, she wasn't a hero when she had superpowers and shit. But now that she's a firefighter, she's a hero. It's like, what?
I mean, honestly, you could argue that being a superhero, at least in this term, is more of a hero because they're not taking a paycheck.
Right.
By the way, I love firefighters. One of my best friends is a firefighter, by the way. It's no shade to y'all.
Hell yeah.
All the way to Hollywood Boulevard.
Hi, I'm Bubbles. Everybody wants to talk to Fake Jesus. Hi.
Well, oops, baby.
The Powerpuff Girls are coming to town tomorrow.
All three?
Are the Powerpuff Girls reteaming?
Hell no, I am never caping for Townsville again.
The three B's back in Townsville. I didn't want to bring this up yet, but I have reason to believe the darkness may be returning.
The darkness, dude. This is Kingdom Hearts now.
Why'd they have the black guy say it? That's what I want to talk about. Why
That's
did the black guy say it?
That's Professor. Oh. What was his name again? Professor, not Professor X.
Utonium.
Right? Utonium.
Professor
That's it.
Utonium.
Yep, yep. Oh, Jesus.
Monsters?
Oh, actually, that is some copyright music. I'm gonna mute
Yeah,
that.
let's not do that.
CGI looks terrible.
Bubbles looks like a prostitute, but I'm pretty sure that's on purpose.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, it's like the most obvious you go with it, right? Like, oh, grown-up Powerpuff Girls. What would it look like? This is like the first draft, not even first draft, like first like treatment idea for something like this. By the way, for those who are looking on stream, I'm playing with an X-Acto knife just because I need to do something with my hands. But
Get a fidget spinner. Damn.
dude, one of my coworkers at work has a fidget spinner. And I think about stealing it all the time. Like, cause he kind of just has it out there. And I'm like, yo, can I take this? It's like, get your own.
One of my earbuds that I have, the case that they're in is pretty much just fidgets. Not a fidget spinner, but it's like for fidgeting type of tool. You just spin it constantly.
Yeah. Let's see. Is there still music in this?
First.
Yep.
Yeah.
Basically, like, can we get the band back together? And she's like, oh, there's this boy that likes me. Oh, quirky, awkward. I'm so quirky and awkward.
Should have been Dexter. I'll say it.
Yeah, just make it a fucking crossover. Coming soon, coming never. But yeah, that was that. It's kind of crazy how here, I'll stop sharing. Or I'll share the stream with you just so like you don't have to keep going back and forth. Let me just see. Never mind. It's just interesting, like, it was like, I think there were some screenshots back then, or photo shoots, and everyone was like, this looks bad, and then everyone read that first script, and it's like, this is really bad. But now just, like, see it kind of in, not a super final product, but, like, a somewhat, somewhat finished product, it's just like, huh.
The thing is that I don't know what it wants to be. It's struggling with an identity crisis. Are you trying to be like a grown-up sitcom or a superhero show? They're trying to do both, but you can't really do both, and it clearly is showing that it prefers to be the family sitcom type of thing.
Yeah, it's like, how willing are you to push the button? And this one is like, it's all grown up but kind of safe. Whereas like there's like a parody online called like HBO's Powerpuff Girls. And it's just like, it's an animated little short where it's just them doing mundane shit, but they were Powerpuff Girls and famous. I'm like, that's a more good approach. Whereas like this one it's more like, whoa, look at us, look at our lives. We kind of miss it though. Like I just don't think you need. So like, for example, there's something to be said about like Power Rangers, right? So Power Rangers, obviously, it's very kid friendly. It's a lot of acrobatics and stuff. It's like, hey, what if we do a darker take on Power Rangers? That makes more sense to me than like Powerpuff Girls. I feel like making it like, oh, this is for adults is like kind of cringe, and not even like it's not committing to the like it's for adults thing. Beside like, look at Bubbles, she's drinks. Well, like if you're gonna go for it, and then I can't promise it's gonna turn out great, but sometimes it can.
That, and I feel like if they wanted to do the whole, I don't know, slice of life type of aspect in, they should have brought in the Rowdy Rough Boys, because like it just makes more sense. They would also be the same age and have superpowers and stuff like that.
The thing is, we'll never know because unfortunately this was canned. The potential this show could have had is now squandered.
Yeah, the meme potential maybe.
HBO or Warner Brothers, listen up, because I know you own Cartoon Network. We need a gritty live action Powerpuff Girls. People, okay, it's also the thing. It's like, do people want this? I think people would just prefer like a reboot every once in a while or something like that.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. By saying we don't want it, they'll probably make it. Because let's be real, Warner Brothers, they don't want your money. They don't want your money.
Yeah, I mean they greenlit Velma for season 2.
Who wanted that?
Well, the thing is,
nobody wanted that.
We all love to hate watch. I'm guilty of it as well. Like, I watched all seasons of 13 Reasons Why. That's one of the most dog shit shows on the face of the planet. And I hate watched it, but guess what? That's still engagement. So if you're a hate watcher, like, this is garbage, how could they make this? It's like, well, you did watch it. Like, the algorithm will say, hey, people are watching this. Even if it's, like, the first 2 episodes. If you think you're not going to like something, don't watch it, and then a second season or sequel will not be made. Like, wait till after. Like, if everyone's shitting on it, don't join the bandwagon. Like, give it a couple minutes.
Yeah, I'm old fashioned in the sense of if the trailer doesn't grab me, I ain't watching it.
Yes, yeah.
I'm simple.
And trailers suck now.
Terrible trailer.
They fucking
they do.
I will watch a teaser because not a lot of info is displayed, but like a full trailer, like a lot of the times it just fucking spoils the entire thing. Yeah. But
tells you the whole movie, the plot, the main antagonist, like come on, man. Leave us with a little something to want to watch the damn show or movie.
Exactly. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into Daredevil. I've pulled up a couple scenes here. But Daredevil Born Again. So, obviously, I titled the video for that reason alone, is because I am disappointed in the first 2 episodes. Now, yes, there's a full season. I'm very aware that, like, there's much more to come. But as of these 2 episodes, I have a lot of problems already right off the bat. If it miraculously fixes itself, then I will eat my words. I will do another stream being like, hey, I was so fucking wrong. But, like, how I'm feeling upon first watch and rewatch, I am just not very happy. But that's my general statement. But, Leah, what did you think of Daredevil Born Again? And, you've seen the original Netflix seasons, right? Hello? Hello? Leon? Uh-oh. Damn, that was a good intro, too. Hold on. Let me see. Did I mute myself by accident? No, my volume's on. Oh! Hello? Leon?
Yeah, I'm here. Whoa.
What? There you go.
Okay. Weird. All right. So to answer, my initial thoughts, basically I've seen all of Daredevil, all of the original Netflix series. It's literally was the best one Marvel Netflix show.
Mm-hmm.
So I
is well, in
is
my
yeah
opinion. Sorry,
is
I'll let you go.
it
Sorry.
still is.
Mm-hmm.
It still is because like what do we have? Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist. Yeah, no.
Or any
So
MCU show, at least in my point of view.
I've had mixed opinions of Moon Knight. I haven't gone back to finish
God, I
it,
hate
but
Moon Knight. Don't
should.
even get me started. Oh. Anyways,
But on the
sorry, I
whole
keep interrupting
Daredevil
you.
aspect, it's all good. On the Daredevil aspect of it, I'm not gonna lie. Was skeptical because this is Disney. We're talking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie. The beginning, like
Mm-hmm.
the very beginning, with the first episode, that opening of what was happening, the fight and everything like that,
Mm-hmm.
hated it.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely hated it. However, as the show progressed, it got better, and I was just like, okay, we can cook with this. But like the beginning part with that CGI, like I've said this for so long, Daredevil is one of those shows where it doesn't need the CGI.
Mm-hmm.
It never needed it. It was a crime. Because when I saw the first opening, I kept thinking to myself, this is them trying to capture the feel of the Netflix series without understanding how it worked.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the entire first fight between Daredevil and Bullseye.
Yeah.
It's just them just not understanding why the first season worked, why the previous seasons worked, and they're trying to recapture it to kind of think like, yeah, we still got it right. We still got it right.
Mm-hmm.
No. However, in my opinion, they literally saved themselves. They picked it back up. The writing, in my opinion, with the dialogue and the cinematography, is there. It is there. So in case you're wondering that if Disney kind of Disney-fied the whole thing yet, no, not yet. Again, we're only 2 episodes in. But to me, I'm optimistic. Skeptical, but optimistic.
Okay.
So what are we talking about here first? Then are we gonna
where-
have to go on your rant?
Where do I start? I'm just trying to. Well, first thing, I need a drink. So there's that. Oh, I just spilled all that foam on my fucking mic. God damn it. Fucking dumbass. Damn. All right.
Damn.
Ugh. All right. Where to even start first? All right. So let's start with this. So the original plan for the show is that Foggy and Karen were going to be either taken off or killed off screen, and it was going to be a whole new direction. But I think it was COVID that hit. No, sorry. It was the actor strike hit. What was that? SAG?
Writer's strike, I think.
Or writers?
Was it actor strike? Yeah, it was writer's strike.
I think actors also went on strike too, but it was mostly the writer's strike. So they were able to actually look over those 6 episodes that they have filmed, and they were like, "This is not it." So they fired the entire head writer, like pretty much most of the creatives on there, and put in the producers of the Punisher show and some people that have worked on the Netflix show onto this show. So it was originally just going to be like a completely Disney-fied thing, and I think it was smart of Kevin Feige to go like, listen, we need to bring the old crew back. And then promoted such as, ladies and gentlemen, Daredevil Born Again, but make no mistake, this is season 4 of Daredevil. Mm-hmm. Everyone went, yeah! And then the first episode, the first 15 minutes happened. And I go, no. Because, okay, so on initial reaction, and this is why I'm glad I rewatched it, it pulled me out of the story completely. Because this is a spoiler stream, obviously. Because you want to update now? Fuck off. They kill Foggy, all right? Now, that's a brave fucking move. That's a very brave move. You better break some heat along with that. Because essentially, you're starting your new season. The show hasn't been in serialization for 7 years. It's been 7 years since Daredevil season 3. And Foggy at the end of season 3, just abandoned his district attorney stance. By him, Matt, and Paige were going to have Murdoch, Nelson, and Paige as their law firm team. So that was the setup. And then, within 15 minutes, after 7 years, it's just, hey, Bullseye killed Foggy, and Karen, after 3 years of sticking with Matt through his toughest, hardest times, says, hey, Matt, I'm going to go to San Francisco now. Bye. And my problem with this is Daredevil is a show about Matt Murdock. Make no mistake of it. But the Netflix show, you know what it was also about? Karen and Foggy. They were, if there are 3 pillars, those were the 2 pillars of that show. And Wilson Fisk, so let's say 4. 2 of those pillars are now gone. They're off the table, right? And watching this took me out of the story because all I was thinking in the back of my head is like, this is Disney being like, we don't really want to deal with these characters. Like, we kind of want to do our own thing, but like, kind of lie and say it's season 4. So we're just gonna take these 2 out so we don't have to even try. Like, that's what got me enraged. Like, because it's so apparent and obvious too. Like, I'm wondering why people are treating this Foggy death so like, oh wow, he died. This must mean it's good. It's like, okay, this just feels like shock value because you know, you don't have any buildup. You know, you have like a little bar scene where he says maybe 2 or 3 words to Matt before they get to the bar. Afterwards, he's like, oh, my client's calling. No last words, no goodbyes. He just dies. And that's fine to do, but I feel like you need like an episode or 2 to build that up. Be like, hey, this is Murdoch, Nelson, and Paige. And like the first episode is them just living their normal lives since we've last seen them. But we don't even get that. We just get Foggy's dead, Karen's gone. Well acted. So compliment right off the bat. The acting is still there, still fantastic. No, absolutely no complaints on that whatsoever. Like Karen when Bullseye gets thrown off the building and she's like slowly turning, like basically being like hoping it's not Matt. And as she looks at it, it's still horrific, but she's like, oh God, thank God. She literally says thank God. And it's like, okay, like the acting's there, but like first 15 minutes just shouted to me, Disney being like, listen, it may look like Netflix Daredevil. This is not Netflix Daredevil. Like, we are off the bat getting rid of the previous elements of the Netflix series. Because again, like season 3, there was an entire episode based on Karen Page. You don't do that with just some like love interest throwaway character. Karen Page is part of that series as much as Foggy is. And this just felt like a slap in the face, honestly. And from the way producers were talking about it of the show / writers, it was pretty much mandatory that they had to kill Foggy. So this just screams corporate bullshit. Disney corporate bullshit. However, upon rewatch, it still sucks. I still don't like it. But I will say, after the initial shock of Foggy being dead and you're able to rewatch it, it's a good scene. The one shot of Daredevil Bullseye is good. However, I don't think it's got the sauce. See, this movie, this show, it's got a lot of visuals to be like, okay, look, we're doing the one shots like we normally do in these Daredevil seasons. There ain't no sauce to it though. There ain't no aura to it. It's just like, this is another. It's an impressive one-shot MCU action scene. What I mean by that is like the characters are fighting, and yes, there's cool little touches of Bullseye killing pedestrians while he's fighting Daredevil, but like there's still a lack of sauce. What is it about it? And I like to compare. So we're gonna watch a little bit, or there's no volume, so feel free to talk over it. But like, hopefully.
Oh, I know exactly. I know exactly what is freaking missing.
So he's going up the stairs, right? This is all very impressive, very good. I'm just gonna skip around just because who knows with Marvel and copyright and IGN. So we're taking it slow. We're outside, And then this is the second bad CGI Daredevil effect. Is when Daredevil jumps up like fucking Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It just has a lack of sauce. Because everything in the Daredevil one-shots, for the most part, was all in camera. And this just feels like cheating. Like, I just pulled this up. The hallway fight scene is incredible in the first season. This reeks of sauce. And it doesn't need all, like, oh, there's a bunch of smoke in the bar. And, oh, look at all of this other thing that's happening. It's simple. It's a hallway. Matt is fighting in all these different rooms. And it's simple and to the point. This is overcomplicated. Now, I couldn't find, without being copyrighted, the scene where they're actually at the bar. The only thing that's been released is them going up the stairs, at least officially, with good quality. But there's just a lot, and it's like, look at all the flashing lights, blah, 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 blah. And like, look, we're taking our time, like the other one shots. Like, there was a reason there was a lot of breathing room here. It's because Matt is up against like 5 dudes at the same time. And they keep getting beat down, but they keep getting back up. They keep getting back up. And its simplicity is usually the best way to go. You know? This just reeks of like, look, we have a big budget. Okay, just because you have a big budget.
That's exactly it.
Doesn't mean, you know. Now, I will say, the cinematography is actually very good in this season. Like, when Matt's overhearing Foggy and the aspect ratio changes, that's honestly sick as hell. There's a lot of great shots in the show. And you could tell it was just like the Netflix budget was like given Disney money, so they were able to go ham. But sometimes restraints help, such as Matt running across the fucking rooftops. Holy shit.
Yeah, you're spot on with the whole budget thing, because that was the only thing that was going through my mind when I saw the initial fight between him and Bullseye. This was just them trying to flex the budget that they got. And I get it. Y'all have been on hiatus for 7 years, and you're eager to get back, and you're eager to show off the new stuff you can do. Cool. I congratulate you. But that was not the way to do it.
It's too trigger happy.
No, they literally just said, like, let's pull the trigger. We're so, like, they just blew their load without realizing that, no, you got the, like, again, this entire time when I saw that fight scene, it just made me thought they want to copy the previous seasons, but they don't understand why those previous seasons worked with this type of fighting style, that type of camera work.
And I also don't think
understand
it feels
it, because
sorry, go ahead.
The majority of that fight was CGI.
Yes.
At least when they were in the bar, the majority of that was CGI. I'm telling you this now. I watched that. The majority of that was just CGI.
Yeah, it was
the
off.
And whatnot, him killing off the other people, then the smoke scene in the bar.
Hello? Did we lose Leon again?
One of the best Marvel Netflix shows without the use of CGI, period. You don't need it. Stick to the basics. If you have a budget, maybe use that on getting better locations, maybe better equipment. But the CGI showing off, that just wasn't it for me.
The thing with the fight, too, is it feels like 2 superhuman people fighting. And Daredevil, at least Netflix's Daredevil, is very grounded. And I actually saw a tweet of someone be like, yeah, I watched season 1 through 3, and there's just a lot of shaky cam and bullshit. It's like, oh, you mean you could actually see what's happening? Like, you could see what's happening in the fight, whereas this one, it's like, God, it's such a... let me see if I could get a better clip. But, let me see. Hold on. no. Bullseye fight scene. It's just so much is going on all at once. Let's see. Born Again. Let's see. Is this the full thing? God, they don't want to show the fucking bar scene.
The other aspect of it that I wasn't really a big fan of was the fact that Bullseye went from being the attacker to quickly getting on the defensive.
Mhm.
The other reason why those other scenes worked is because we saw
Oh, hold on.
Matt.
Sorry. So this is the famous roof running scene. Or oh no, that's him jumping off. But oh damn it, never mind. Keep going. Sorry.
To go on that whole roof jumping scene, the reason why that pisses me off is because, like, I believe it was season 1 or season 2 of Daredevil where we actually saw Matt doing parkour.
Yes.
We saw that. No
Yes.
CGI required.
Mhm.
Absolutely no CGI required. And here, they just could not help themselves. They just couldn't help themselves.
Here we
Like,
go. I think
why,
I can pull it
bro?
up. Yep, this is the scene. Wow, this has 7 billion views. Goddamn. Let's see. Yes, like this looks significantly better. Like him just naturally going through like a parkour scene, just jump through. Like, yeah, that's a stunt double, but it looks better than fucking a rubbery, like dark silhouette. And also, the reason why it's so smoky in that bar and the reason it's dark on those rooftops is to hide the shitty CGI. like
It has to be.
it has to be, because like my favorite thing about like these scenes is their, like the Netflix ones, is their great choreography, and you could see exactly what's happening every single time. Like you could see the actions, whereas like the fucking fight scenes here is like, what the fuck is happening here? I will say this is a good section where Matt's yelling at Bullseye and Bullseye's just being psychotic as he usually is. But even that, you know, like there was so much built up with Bullseye in season 3 of how he became a psychopath, and you open with him murdering Foggy and stuff like that. Like you gotta like be like, hey, there's this guy who's like really taking out like people with precision and stuff, and like it could be like this whole season could be a looming threat of like, when is he gonna strike? Like everyone's a little bit on edge since we figured out that he was let on the loose. But instead they just blow their load almost immediately within the first 15 minutes. I think why people like this for first 15 minutes is because it's so shocking. They're like, well, that must be good. It's like, well, no, let's really think about it. And I don't like how people are saying it's like a seamless transition from the Netflix show to the Disney Plus show.
No.
Absolutely not. It's like a fucking hydrogen bomb versus a coughing baby. Like it's not even remotely similar.
So I will say this. I also had the knee-jerk reaction about them killing off Foggy because I was also like, what the fuck? This is a ballsy move.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of understand writing-wise why they did it. Because
for me,
hear me out.
Okay.
Hear me out.
You were like, you're about to start? Don't start.
Because hear me out why I say that it makes a little bit of sense writing-wise. Because in the first episode, after the whole Daredevil and Bullseye fight, 1 year later passes, and we see that Matt, he's alone. He doesn't have anyone anymore. Like, you know, Karen's going off. Foggy is dead, quote unquote. I'll get to that later. And then the Kingpin's back into the picture. But look what happened to Kingpin. His wife is no longer, you know, being as close to him. Like his wife, Vanessa, was his rock in the previous season.
She fucking another dude.
Exactly. Now their relationship is strained.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of see, like, the thing with the first 2 episodes I got is you see a lot of mirror images of both Wilson Fisk and Matt Murdock trying to get through their lives in a supposedly new light. They're trying to find a new way without being their old selves again. Like, you could see the mirroring because look at Matt. when he decided to give up being Daredevil, you'd see his hands, they have scars. You'd see him have a tick anytime he gets annoyed.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Wilson Fisk. Same deal. You see his hands, there are scars. Anytime he's annoyed, you see that tick.
Yep.
They're both on the edge of boiling over, which is why in the end of the second episode, to me, was Chef's Kiss. Because at the end of the day, it's like the world was telling them, you are who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Stop fighting it. Just be who you are. And they ended up going right back to doing what they usually do.
Yeah. So
killing off Foggy kind of makes a thematic sense if you're trying to show that both Daredevil and Kingpin are being mirror images of each other. I will say in that sense, it makes sense. You go on.
Both of them are suffering a death of the relationship. Wilson Fisk more metaphorically, Matt's more literally. But my thing is with the Netflix pacing, like people might like I know people that dropped out of the show because they're like the pacing is slow. But I like that about the Netflix show because it took its time, it took its breath. Like season 3 is literally just Matt living underneath the church. And I feel like that year later, from a writing standpoint, is lazy as shit because there's so much story within that. We could see how Karen and Matt grow astray from that. Again, I have no issue with Foggy dying or Karen dying. It just needed time to breathe. But they just had to bum rush this shit because they're like, we don't want to deal with all that. And like, Matt should be living in fucking misery. And like, in some cases it looks that way, but then he's got this nice law firm. Like, he instantly moved on from Nelson and Murdoch. He was just like, all right, well, I'm in this. Check out my new person here. She's nice. She's quirky, ain't she? Check out this cop. He's quirky too.
I have a
it's
theory
like,
about
what the
that.
fuck?
I have a theory that they're building up to some big reveal because the one thing I've noticed about when Foggy died is that you're right, it's out of nowhere, but at the end of the day, it doesn't make much sense because think about it. Think about how it started.
Mm-hmm.
Foggy gets a call from somebody saying that, oh, they're after me, man.
Mm-hmm.
Matt leaves to become Daredevil, and then all of a sudden Bullseye comes out of nowhere. We don't even get a follow-up as to what that client was. We don't get a follow-up as to what that whole call was about because it clearly couldn't have been Bullseye that was after him because he went after to go kill Foggy. So, like, it's one of those things where there's questions in that scene that don't make sense, and I'm hoping that we're going to get a flashback explaining exactly what really went on. I feel like something...
Didn't in the phone call, the guy was just like, he's after me. And then once Matt leaves, the guy was like, I'm sorry, like, he made me do it. Like, so, I don't know. I think Bullseye still is culpable. Because, like, if this ends, there's other theories that Foggy faked his death.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've seen that a lot.
I hope that's not the case, because then this fucking thing has jumped the fucking shark.
They gotta sell it. They got
like,
if they
like
do
a
that,
show about a blind man, you know, fighting crime, and if like Foggy fakes his death, that's like the biggest sharp leak of all fucking time. If they go that route, I think Foggy's staying dead. They have confirmed. Number one, there's a season 2 coming out of this, and that Karen and Foggy are coming back. But I think this is obviously going to be mostly like flashback scenes to flesh it out, and stuff like that. But like, why wait till later?
They gotta sell me on it because that's the one thing. Because like them doing it, I don't have a problem with it. It's why they're doing it.
Yes.
I need to know. They gotta really sell me on it.
And again, this season
otherwise I'm gonna be disappointed.
The season hasn't come out all there yet, but right now this just seems lazy writing. Honestly, these first 15 minutes. Do I have
the first 15? Else? Yeah, the first 15 minutes, I won't lie, it just seems like they're kind of doing shock value and just want to show off that budget.
Yes.
The rest, I will say, though, I got to be honest. Now, this is my opinion, but with the writing, they didn't really lose their step, in my opinion.
See, I completely disagree. Like,
well, because there's a couple of scenes that they did that I thought was pretty good. Like the diner scene with Wilson and Matt, that I thought was pretty dang good.
That one was good.
The ending of episode 1 where Matt is down with the red lights flashing him, Wilson is on top of a
Yeah,
building.
the
you see the white
cinematography
light
there,
flashing.
that's sick. Yeah.
The symbolism was beautiful.
Mm-hmm. He's in hell. Wilson's in heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. I like that. But and I texted you this, so I'm gonna preference this right now before I even start to say what I'm gonna say. I do not like Donald Trump. I think he's a criminal. I hate that he's our president. That's where I stand politically. I don't like to get politics on this show, but that's where I stand. Wilson Fisk has been replaced by Donald Trump. Now, what I mean by that is, like, the ham-fisted, so obvious it was written by a fucking, 14-year-old. It's like, I'm Wilson Fisk. I'm going to make New York great again. Are we fucking serious? The blue hats and then, like, them going crazy on the streets and stuff. It's like, it's so obvious. Like, I don't even remember all of them. But he, like, spitfires, like, 5 of them in that diner scene. I'm like, can we... I get what you're doing already. Like, if you want to have that, build up to it. Be like, Wilson Fisk's a fucking criminal. And then people are like, I kind of like Wilson Fisk. Have that be a 5-episode arc, and then he becomes mayor. Instead, it's just like, plus, the Disney show and the Netflix show, because it was canceled, how the fuck did Wilson get out of prison?
Okay,
we still don't know.
Hold on. If you're gonna get mad at Kingpin doing this, you gotta get mad at Lex Luthor becoming president. It's the same shit.
Oh, no, absolutely. Listen, I am fine with that concept. I am fine if you want to make Wilson Fisk an allegory for Donald Trump and shit on him. Absolutely, go for it. That's not what I'm arguing. I'm saying the dialogue is so ham-fisted and obvious that it like makes me want to fucking puke.
To be fair, that's not entirely their fault. That's just people being mad about the current state of the world right now. I'm not gonna get too much into it, but it's one of those things where people want to escape from real life. You kind of shoved it in their face. Because in my opinion, this was going to happen no matter what.
No, yeah, and it's a storyline in the comics and stuff like that. I knew exactly. It was. I know, like. Listen, I love the plot point of, or like the storyline of Wilson becoming mayor. Absolutely love it. It's one of the best comic runs. It seems like they're taking a lot from Devil's Reign, which is a Chip Zdarsky run. And Chip Zdarsky's Daredevil run is really good. But it doesn't feel earned to me at all. It feels incredibly rushed. And maybe this is just the first 2 episodes. Maybe after this, we're going to get a well-paced, back-to-basics Netflix Daredevil type of show. Because second episode, Matt doesn't wear the Daredevil suit at all because he's still on a hiatus, you know? Which, like, the majority of the Netflix show, he doesn't wear the fucking suit. Like, most of season 3, he didn't wear his major suit. End of season 1, he finally got to wear it. And then season 2, he wore it, like, the most out of all the other previous seasons. So, like...
And then there's Defenders, if you count that.
Yeah, someone said when they saw that still of like all the Defenders and stuff, and then Daredevil there, it's like this looks like a Fortnite like roster.
Wow.
But I think like so like with the prison break, right? Or like Wilson's out of prison. I don't know how it still hasn't been fucking explained. The only thing that's been explained, okay, so we have Hawkeye, which Wilson Fisk is back again. They don't explain how he got out of prison. From my recollection, maybe I'm wrong. I'm sure someone in the comments will fucking disprove me.
To my recollection, they didn't. As a matter of fact, I hated that he was in the Hawkeye one.
Yeah, and it gets quote-unquote shot in the face by Echo. And then we get the Echo series where she fucked with his mind, which I do reference in this. She fucked with his mind, and he's like, sorry, Vanessa, I had to go away for a year or so to recuperate myself. But now I'm ready to be the mayor of this city. Like fine, that's all like it's clearly connected to the Disney shows. Like they did a good job connecting all that together, including him being like, I was like shot in the face by a vigilante. Like, yes, that's all connected, but they still haven't explained how he got out of prison. Now granted, maybe later on in the season they're going to explain it, and if that's the case, then again I will be like, dumbass, jump to conclusions, but I feel like they're not going to, because he's already mayor. Like, that's the perfect subplot of being like, Mr. Fisk, weren't you in prison? Like, why should New York hire a convicted criminal? You know, they don't even breach the fucking subject. Like, like from a writing standpoint, this is like story-wise. My major complaints are the story. Shitty CGI in MCU shows. It's just it's a fucking given. You know, like, listen, I'm gonna hey, that's funny. It's shitty, but you know, whatever. It's just the flow of things that's off. The action scenes are the only good action scene that I actually really liked was when Matt was like helping out his client, and then those two guys with the Punisher tattoos come in, and then he's like being like, don't do it, and it's like, is he talking to the guy he's about to beat the shit out of or himself? And he like goes ballistics on him, and that I like.
Oh, he was talking to them.
Yeah.
He was talking to them, hands down. So to go on your whole tangent on like the pacing or whatever, how you felt like there should have been 5 more episodes of Wilson becoming mayor.
Because I got 16 episodes. This is going to be 16 episodes, so they got the time.
I heavily disagree with that, only because if you think the Trump allusions were bad, which was the 2 episodes we got, I'm telling you now, it would have been worse if you gave them 5 episodes to work with that. It would not have gotten better. So for me, I'm actually happy they just wrapped that shit up.
Because you have time to build up his chaotic fan base, let's just call it. You have time to build that up. Instead, it just happens. We get a couple street interviews, and it's like, oh, yeah, there we go. It's like, if you want to really make this subtle, that's how you do it. And the Netflix show understood that. Whereas this is just like, people just kind of accepted it, and look, his fans are crazy. Like, let's take, you've seen The Boys, correct?
I've seen parts of it.
Okay,
really
so it's season 4. There's this guy who, like, you slowly see him become, like, a Homelander fan and stuff like that. And then at the end of the season, he just goes full, like, it's pretty much an allegory for, like, a Trump fan. It's like, no, this guy's making good points. Sure, he's harsh, but, like, you know, and they keep up with this character, keep checking in with him, and it gets more and more extreme. Like, he mentions, like, an off-brand, like, basically allegory for, like, 4chan. And it's like, no, like, so-and-so just dropped. Like, you slowly get to see him, like, he's trying to influence his kids to, like, he's taking his kids to go to these rallies and stuff like that. Like, that's this very subtle way. And then at the very end, when Homelander kills that random guy, he's just like, that was awesome. And then that's, like, the payoff. And it's like, oh, that's a great allegory for Trump. Like, really, really
okay,
subtle,
so hold
really,
on. So then what do you want then? Do you want it in your face, or do you want it to be a steady build-up? Because either way, you're getting it in your face.
No. Getting in the face for me is like them just like what they've done essentially is like, oh, look, blue hats and all that. Like Wilson Fisk literally just saying like, I'm going to make New York City great again. Or he doesn't say that exactly, but I'm going to make New York City safer again, or something along those lines. Like, that's ham-fisted. Whereas, like, a gradual build-up, yes, it's still the metaphor, allegory, whatever you want to call it, but it's paced out. Whereas, like, this, you just get it, bam, right in the fucking face. That's what I mean by right in the face. It's just so, bam, glaring, obvious, like, no subtlety whatsoever. Whereas you have the build up, at least you could say, well, they did build up to it. You know, it's like Daenerys turning heel on fucking Westeros in one episode of like 8 seasons, being like, all right, I'm gonna burn this whole fucking kingdom down. It's like, where was that built up in like the previous 8 seasons? That's what it feels like to me. I don't know if you're a Game of Thrones fan, but yeah.
Not really, but I mean, I see your point of view, but my whole thing is just that, okay, that means you'd have to push this up or push this down. Then the whole storyline they're doing with well, we already told them spoilers that the White Tiger is getting put on trial. You'd have to put that during the election process, because there's no way I'm gonna watch 5 episodes of just Matt not being Daredevil and just him trying to be like, I'm not watching 5
episodes. I don't think that's true,
See what I'm saying?
Because that's all of season 1 pretty much. Well, not or you mean not costume 1. No. You mean just like him doing crap. Okay, sorry.
Not being a vigilante. That's what I mean. Just not being a vigilante. Like, I'm not watching 5 episodes of that. I'm just not.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of season 3 though. Like, he was in that church for a fucking while. He was underneath.
Yeah, but he still did shit. That's the thing. He still trained. He still fought. He still, like, you know, he was still, like, you could tell that this wasn't a legal drama. Like, if it's a legal drama, I'd watch Suits. You see what I'm saying?
Mm,
Like, with the thing with Matt Murdock, yeah, he's a lawyer. You can use that to your advantage to give people a break with the legal drama. But if that's all it is, you're dealing with a whole new show now. You're dealing with a whole new show.
well, and I think the original Netflix series did a good job at balancing that. Whereas this one, I feel like
Yeah.
this one's more concerned about the superhero aspect of Daredevil, whereas the previous seasons were more focused on Matt and his character growth. Whereas this one, like, people are saying, like, guys, like, Matt getting over Foggy's death after a year, it's called character growth. I didn't see that growth. Where was the growth? I didn't see it. I didn't smell it. I didn't taste it. I didn't fucking shit it out. I didn't eat it. I didn't fucking see any of it. Like, it's like, just because I think people don't understand the words they're saying, and I'm guilty of this too, but, like, literally character growth is seeing a character grow. Like, we don't really see, besides a quick snippets of, like, Matt tucking in that in love and memory thing in his jacket. After that, he hasn't really mentioned Foggy in the slightest. You know, there's that subtle thing where his coworker is like, hey, I'm gonna maybe introduce you to a therapist, but that's more of a romantically than him actually going into therapy. So I think that's out the window. Because that would be very not okay if you're dating someone and, like, also they're your therapist. That's very not okay. While they're practicing on you, I guess.
I was very disappointed that was an actual therapy session, because I kind of felt like that could have given more room to build on his character, on Matt's character with Daredevil type of thing, because that's a good way to show character growth. I'm not gonna lie, because in season 3, we had a good way with him kind of coming to grips with his faith with the church. That's another way of showing, like, his character growth and dealing with that, because him being religious is very important to him. So in this instance, we could also show that him repressing being Daredevil is just a disturbance to him, because that's still very important to him. He likes being Daredevil, not just for the sake of it, because he sees what he is able to accomplish and blah, blah, blah. Missed opportunity there. Not sure how I feel about they making his girlfriend Wilson Fisk's was a therapist. Not sure how I feel about that. I think that was kind of...
I think that's fine. I think them doing couples therapy is actually kind of clever.
Yeah, it's clever. I just felt like they just did that to kind of like, oh, we just want to add in these potential drama points because let's be real, the dam is gonna burst eventually.
Yeah, he's gonna
like one of those.
He's gonna kill Adam. Yeah. He's gonna kill whoever that motherfucker is. He's gonna kill him. She's like, yeah, don't kill him. He's like, I'm not that man anymore, Vanessa. Like, okay, buddy.
Until, you know, he literally blackmailed the police commissioner, saying like, yeah, you're gonna get nothing for your budget.
Now, I am interested to see where this Punisher angle goes, because the fucking comics haven't even touched on this, which is like such a like no-brainer. Like, why wouldn't you do this storyline? Is like people taking the Punisher logo and, you know, doing vigilante justice and stuff. Like, that hasn't really been like, because since, you know, like our current political climate, unfortunately, the Punisher logo has been taken as like a how do I say this delicately? Like, it's very much used in the right leaning circles and stuff, which is why like the comics have kind of distanced himself from that. And now he's a mystical samurai. Well, he's not anymore. He's in some other world. Kind of thing. It's very complicated. That
got isekai. Wait.
He got isekai. Yes, he got isekai. Yeah.
Oh my god! I'm gonna read that now.
But not it. You probably won't be happy with that. I like what it does to the Punisher mythos, but giving Punisher magical powers, I'm not really a fan of. But for like,
you can't give Punisher powers.
Well, that's the whole 12-issue run is him being head of the fist, the hand or the fist. I think
the hand. It was the hand. It's the hand.
No, what is Punisher or Daredevil's is the hand. I think the fist is a separate.
Oh, you mean the chase? It's
basically
it's
the,
the hand and the chase in Marvel Comics. It's between those two.
Maybe.
I don't
remember.
The chase are supposed to be the good guys. The hand are the bad guys.
Well, Punisher definitely sided with the bad guys, and Daredevil was like head of the hand. for a little bit in Chip Zdarsky's run. But regardless, semantics. Like, I'm interested to see, because we haven't seen, like, right now, the Punisher is just some random S.H.I.E.L.D. agent in the comics. It's like, why the fuck would I even pick this up? Like, I read the first 2 issues. I'm like, this guy is like a blank piece of toast. I don't give a fuck about him. I don't even give a fuck to remember the guy's name. But, like,
Oh boy.
I'm interested to see, like, the how the city reacts to, like, random people donning the Punisher logo and doing vigilante justice, and Frank's reaction to that. That hasn't been like a storyline in the comics. So you think with the current political climate, they would easily be like, oh, we could commentate on this easily, because comic books are a lot of the time have a very political voice underneath it and stuff like that. But they haven't touched it. I don't think they want to touch it, because like their logo has been taken by these extremist groups, and they're like, well, we don't really want to show this logo and stuff. They still have on other characters and stuff, but like for the most part, they've distanced themselves away from it. But like this show is actually going to, you know, put that on display, it seems, with these corrupt cops with their with the Punisher logos tattooed on their wrists. And then there is a screenshot of a person wearing a Punisher logo out in the streets. So I'm assuming that's the route they're going to take it. I don't know for sure. The season hasn't come out, but from what we've seen alluded to in the show / the stills on set, it seems generally they're going in that direction. And John Bernthal, hey, he's a good Punisher. He's probably the best.
Probably the best
action
one.
Yeah. I just hate how in the Punisher shows they turn him into like an espionage spy, whereas like peak Punisher for me is just him, plain and simple. You're a criminal.
He's
gunning
a military
you down.
man.
He's like,
Just goes and
I like my
shoots.
Punisher like Jaws. He's like the force of nature, you know. Remember the second season they gave him like a young girl, aka Ellie from Last of Us. Like I was just like, what the fuck is going on here?
Hated the second season.
So bad. But they're doing a special episode, kind of like what they did with like what was that one with Man?
He better kill people. That's all I say. Like he better
like
kill
the peak
people.
Punisher moments in Punisher the first season was at the very end where he's donning the logo in the trench coat and gunning down a bunch of dudes in the warehouse. I'm like, hey, look, Punisher, he's back.
That was season 2. Season 1
was that season 2? Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, and John Berthal's helping writing for this. They're calling it a spotlight episode. It's just a one-off kind of thing, and I'm like, that's sick. I hope that's good. The violence in the show is pretty good.
So will that episode just will only follow Punisher, or
yes,
will
it's just
Daredevil
literally
be-
Punisher. It's just literally
okay.
a Punisher one-off.
Okay.
So, yeah, and I think the night, what the fuck was it called? Whatever the one with the Halloween one, with Man Thing in it. I think it's about 40 minutes to an hour, so literally just an hour a one-off.
All right.
So when that comes out, that should be good. I'm definitely pumped. The violence in the show is, you know, they were like, listen, we're going TVMA in this one. It's mature. And they definitely do show that this season. The violence is there. I was a little afraid of the disneyfication of it, but yeah, the violence there. Like when Matt breaks that dude's arm and there's just a stream of blood coming out of it, I'm like, holy shit.
And also when he flips him over and like,
I almost think he killed him, honestly, because that guy landed on his neck. I'm like, did he fucking kill him? We don't know yet. I'm assuming not, because then that's a whole other plot line he has to go through. But like, if he did, holy shit.
Because at least with Bullseye, when he did that, potentially almost killing him, at least you could give him the excuse of like, this dude killed your friend. You gotta go.
Mm-hmm.
But in this instance, yeah, they're about to kill you, but like Daredevil has beaten the crap out of people that wanted to kill him before and then just walked away from it, leaving them alive.
Yeah. I will say Fisk, besides, the stuff I complained about before, the best scene for me with him is threatening that police commissioner guy. He's like, this is a good sandwich. This is the sandwich shop that your wife and son go to all the time, ain't it? And then the commissioner's like, rabble, rabble. Also, but I did hate, like, so bad dialogue was like the commissioner going up to him at the funeral being like, listen, I know what you are, punk. You're just another criminal. And like that whole thing was so fucking cringe to me. I was like, oh my, it's too much. He's laid it on too thick. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, that was
well, to be fair,
horrifically.
He might have been laying it on thick, but it made sense because like if this is the same Fisk from like the previous 3 seasons, Kingpin did some evil ass shit. Let's not lie. He's done some evil ass shit.
Okay, maybe I misspoke. I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying the dialogue that he says is very cringe.
The way
like the way it was written and stuff, very cringe. I don't have a problem with him doing that. Just how it was spoken, I guess.
I don't know. Maybe they could have done.
As I talk about it,
they could have done with that. They could have done it with fewer words.
As I talk about it, there's definitely some good things about this. I think it is the initial reaction of holy shit, they're just getting rid of these fucking Netflix characters besides Matt and Kingpin. Which the reason why they would keep him and Punisher is because, well, they're fucking title characters. And I feel like them writing those Karen and Foggy, those characters off was just them being like, they're not important kind of thing. Because Matt really hasn't like he's chipper and stuff. He's going on dates and stuff. It's like Karen left him. Foggy's dead. Even after a year, I would expect him to be a miserable thing. But then again, we have 1 year later. All that story happened off the fucking screen. And it's like, well, that would be character growth of him being like, I'm so fucking sad. I'm so fucking depressed. And then eventually him getting out of that rut, being more positive. And then that's where we see him be more friendly with coworkers, going on dates and stuff. It just feels like, I'm over Karen. Fucking bye, bitch. Go to San Francisco. It's like, no, you need to earn that.
Well, to be fair, this is one of the things where they told us, which I know, show don't tell, but they kind of pretty much told us that she tried to reach out to him. Matt pretty much walled her off, and then when she finally decided she had enough, that's when he's like, no, please.
This is the major problem. It's telling, not showing. You could say that happened, but like, there's no emotional impact if you just say something. I want to see them have a couple fights here and there. Like, what are we doing here? It's a lazy way of like telling your audience you should feel this way because this happened, but it happened off screen. And it's like, well, I'm emotionally detached now.
A compromise they could have done to kind of fix that, in my opinion, is they could have done like brief flashbacks. And what I mean by that is like, instead of just going to like 1 year later, they could have like maybe showed the funeral service, show how Matt and Karen were dealing with that. They kind of fast forward a little bit, like showing brief glimpses over the year. Then we get to the 1 year later, when the show starts.
Yes,
I feel that would have been a good compromise. Because again, doing all of that and then still having a time for Wilson becoming mayor and stuff like that—that's a lot to unpack. That is a lot.
Got a comment here. It was built up to his crash out moment. I think they're referring to Foggy's death. I disagree because Foggy dies. And besides Matt taking that little, or Fisk bringing up Foggy's death and Matt taking the immemorial thing, it's just basically like he's onto business as usual, and it's not until he's put in a dangerous situation that he finally crashes out, which should have been built up to. Again, this is like, I keep repeating myself, like, this is my major issue, is this feels incredibly fucking rushed. There's no time to breathe. Like, elements of this would be a season-long story point in the Netflix show, which is why it's baffling to me being like, it's just like the Netflix show. It's fucking not. Like, pacing and story is way the fuck off from anything the Netflix show did. Like, subtlety is fucking dead, and Disney killed it with with Daredevil Born Again. I will say, this is probably one of the better Disney Plus shows. After all this complaining, I will say this is probably one of the better ones.
I believe it.
But my issue is like, well, it's good for a MCU project, and it's like, why do we have to do that? Why do we have to distinguish? Moon Knight was good for an MCU project, or I'm pulling that one out of my ass. I don't know. Let me think of what. Winter Soldier is good for an MCU product. If a show is good, a show is good. It shouldn't have to caveat, well, it's a superhero movie. We've gone past that. Logan is a fantastic movie, but both as a superhero movie and just as a film in general. So why people always feel the need to be like, oh, that was decent for an MCU movie. It's like, no.
Well, because
is it good or bad?
The problem with these
I don't want to have to
MCU
come up with a
shows-
separate ranking of like, how good is it as a film? 2 out of 10. How good is it as an MCU film? 6 out of 10. Like, no, it's either good or it's bad. Like, let's not giving it too much credit.
There's a reason why they have to do that, because with these MCU TV shows now, you can't just, unfortunately, for a good amount of them, you can't just watch them and be like, okay, I'll understand every single thing about these characters and what they've been through. No, you have to watch the movies. Daredevil is probably the only one where you need to watch the previous Netflix series, but you don't need to see the movies to understand what his character's about. He's only appeared in ever one movie, and that was in No Way Home. And his contribution was negligible. Nothing to do with his story arc whatsoever.
Yeah.
He also appeared in She-Hulk. Also negligible. Nothing to do with this arc whatsoever. He also showed up in Echo, which very little, but as far as I could recall, Matt just made one sudden jib at Fisk when they were in the diner, but that's it. Did nothing at all. So that's kind of the reason why Daredevil kind of shines here, especially if you're a long-term fan. You don't need to follow the MCU. You just need to follow the Netflix shows, and you're golden. That's it.
Yeah, and even the Netflix shows, like, they were connected, but you didn't need to watch everything. Like, I never watched Iron Fist, and I think I got the gist of it.
You know,
I watched the first season, never the second though.
I will say the second season you're missing out a little bit because
that's what you said. I'm kind of shocked by that.
It did improve. It did improve.
Yeah.
But is it as good as Daredevil? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely
no. I mean, Daredevil obviously is the pinnacle. It's like one of the best superhero things. For me, it's like peak television, honestly. Like, and yeah, obviously, I'm fucking biased. I like superheroes. You look around my office here. I got a fucking signed. This is like one of my most prized possessions right here. Hold on. Uh-oh. Are you gonna kill me? Oh, never mind. It's not a nail. It's a fucking one of those sticky things. What are they called again? But I have a signed Punisher issue #1 from the 2013 series of both John Berthal and Steve Dillon. Steve Dillon, who drew the issue, and John Berthal, obviously the Punisher. Like, I live and breathe and die for this shit. So obviously, I'm fucking biased when I say Netflix is one of the best TV shows I've ever seen. Obviously. But, like, the quality of Daredevil is so good, the Netflix ones. This one just feels like, oh, this is like, I feel like people are going to say, it was good for an MCU project. And it's like, I just want it to be good. Why can't it just be good? You know? And people are like, oh, he mentioned Spider-Man. This is peak.
Anyone who said
it's been 2 episodes.
It's
been 2 episodes. This shit is not peak yet. We don't know how it's going to end. And counter argument
it's
for
on
me.
the right track, in my opinion. I know you defer. It's on the right track.
If I play Devil's Advocate, it's also technically too early for me to be like, this is not good, this is terrible.
That is also true.
Fine. I will say I'm just disappointed. Listen, I title it not good because it's YouTube, baby. You gotta fucking, like, who the fuck are we playing here? It's funny how, like, side tangent, like, what were, like, thumbnails back then were so, like, heavily scrutinized. Like, oh, this thumbnail is clickbait. And, like, now everyone's kind of accepted it because YouTube is, like, a cesspool pool where, like, if you don't have yellow or a fucking, like, red arrow pointing at something with a red circle, like, you're not gonna get any fucking views because that's the fucking algorithm, unfortunately. But I digress. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. If I had to rate this, I guess I'd give it a 5 because I'm willing to give it a chance. Obviously,
Jesus. My God, a 5
out of 10. Yeah.
Jesus.
Listen, you got shitty CGI. You got shitty pacing. Story's still coming along, but it's still not great. I don't like the dialogue. The best I can say is
you're alone with that. The dialogue.
This is why I feel like I'm going insane because everyone is praising the shit out of the show so early on, but, like, this show has no sauce. Netflix had fucking sauce and, like, an attitude and a fucking tone to it. This just feels like lukewarm. It feels like every other Disney processed fucking show, okay?
I'm
It's
about to disagree with
better
you on that.
than a lot of those. It's better than a lot of those, I will say that. But it still feels that way. I mean, from the one-shot fight scene alone to, like, just, like, there's no sauce. They didn't put hot sauce on it. They didn't even put barbecue sauce on these fucking fries. Like, there's no sauce. They didn't even put salt on the fucking thing.
All right,
They might as well have given
I'm
me a raw potato. They might as well cut a potato in front of me and said, here.
All right, so I'm about to stop you right there because I'm gonna be honest. I do not share these opinions. Like, one thing I will definitely agree with is that beginning CGI in that one-shot fight, the worst thing, easily the worst thing out of those 2 episodes. I'm not even gonna lie to you; those are the worst things out of the 2 episodes. However, for that stupid CGI was out of the way, the show, in my opinion, started to cook. It started to, like, yes, Foggy dying, I'm not a big fan of that either. I need to see as to why. There's some theories that he faked his death. If that's the case, they gotta really sell me on that to, like, be convinced of it.
I'm just gonna fucking say bullshit and move on. I'm gonna be like, this fucking sucks. Like, you kill Foggy, fucking own it up.
But it's starting to pique my interest because, again, there's a lot of good scenes, there's a lot of cool cinematography. I like the story that they're trying to tell so far. Again, these 2 episodes have made me skeptical but optimistic. So for that, 7.5. That's what I give it. I give it a 7.5
right.
because some of the real, again, the dialogue between Wilson and Matt is what made it for me. I like it when the heroes and their villains come together, they have a talk, and, like, that whole diner scene, I enjoyed it because it was just a subtle declaration of war. Matt just told him, if you're ever back to your old tricks again, I'll be there. And Wilson's like, if you ever don that mask again, there will be consequences. Like, fuck, that's Kiss. This is a rivalry. This is a banter. I like that shit.
I like that part of the scene too, where he's like, Fisk's whole stance on, like, I'm going cracking down hard on vigilantes. I like that. But, like, the metaphor is overtaking the fucking thing. Like, the allegory, the similarities to Trump is just like...
There's
so
no way that was always going to happen.
It's focusing on that way more. It like that's what I mean about the pacing and, like, how this could have been drawn out where it felt earned, whereas this one it's like, yeah, do you guys get it? And it's like, fucking yes, dude. Can you stop?
It's not even. See, that's the thing, though. The thing about it is I feel like, and I'm not gonna get political here, but I feel like because of the whole Trump nonsense, I feel like if you even see a little bit of a zebra, you're like, fuck it, that's a zebra. Take it down, right? And I'm just like, what would y'all expect? Like, in the comics, this is literally bar for bar what Fisk was trying to do. Fuck over vigilante.
Yeah, but in the comic books, there's, like, let's say 30 issues, even more, building up to that, whereas this one, it's in the span of, like, not even 30 minutes. You get what I'm saying?
I get you.
Again,
but
I have no problem
stand.
with the allegory or Fisk becoming mayor. The payoff and the build-up is what I have a problem with.
Again, I get you, but my stance on that is still the same. I am not. If they were to push that back, I am not going to watch.
Well, you're wrong.
Episodes of a legal drama and Matt not being a vigilante or fighting people or punching people in the face. I ain't dealing with that because again, it's a whole new show after that. It's a whole different show. So I get it. The pacing, at least in the first 2 episodes, I see the problems. I do see the problems and I acknowledge them. But for me, what they have done afterwards, it shows that, in a sense, they're like, yeah, we know this is a bit jarring, but we're trying to show you that we still got it. We still got the writing down. We still got the dialogue. We still got the antagonism. Stick with us. And I'm not going to lie. I'm like, okay, I'll stick with you. Like, for me, I'm sticking with them.
And
now,
Leon?
Does this mean it'll be peak? We don't know.
Leon, I want to live in your world. I want to live in your world. I want to just be like, even though it has its faults, overall I still enjoyed it. I do kind of feel that way, but, like, I just wish I could just be like, this, like, overall, this is good, this is great. I'm really happy about the 2 episodes I watched. I have this, like, I can't get I just think it's not good, and I think it's because you're comparing it to Netflix, what I deem as like the best, let's just say, superhero TV show, like one of the best, and then you're giving me this, and I'm like, this is a fucking downgrade, which was going to happen regardless. I should have seen this coming. I don't know why I got myself so hyped up for this, because like it's a fucking Disney show, you know. What can I expect? But
yeah, expectations.
Here's to dreaming.
Definitely big. I feel like expectations here are different because you had very high expectations. I had average expectations.
Yeah,
average to low.
Because Daredevil
That's why
is like one of my favorite superheroes. You know, so it's
well then yeah. Well then I get it. I do get it, and I do see your points. Some of them I feel like are a little. Let's wait a bit. But hey,
yes.
I'm the same. I am the same with Jack in the sense of like, if this show turned out to be complete dog shit, I will literally come on here and lambaste the damn thing. I will show it no mercy. No mercy.
Like what we did with Titans. Oh my god, dude.
Oh god.
When that show was coming out. Yeah, this is nowhere the Titans level, thank God.
Oh hell no. Hell no.
It definitely has better CGI than Titans too. You remember? I think we watched it together, like the Beast Boy transforming scene. We were just like, "What the fuck?"
Oh my god! I didn't. This is that Beast Boy is literally the main reason why I said a live-action Teen Titans show isn't gonna work out very well because he is a CGI nightmare. Yeah. It's just the truth. Mm-hmm. Oh lord.
Yeah, but overall, I am disappointed. But again, I could be proven wrong. This whole season could be great. I'm just going off of initial reactions, and my initial reactions are fuck this. The show could, the next batch of episodes could be so great. I could be giving this shit a 9 out of 10 by the end of the day. I'm just saying, upon first 2 episodes, I am not very happy or pleased at all. But I will acknowledge there are some good shit. There's some good shit in there. But, okay, you know what? Sum it all up. It's a mixed bag. That's what it is. It's a mixed bag for me.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah. It's not great.
For me.
It's not god-awful. It ain't good. It's a mixed bag.
I will say, as long as they manage to stick to the basics, fuck the CGI. I don't want to see that shit again. I'm so serious. I
too
do not
fucking
want to see
bad.
that CGI shit again.
I don't want to see him swinging from roofs. And people are like, this is comic book accurate. Sometimes comic book accuracy doesn't work on fucking screen.
It really
we all know this.
It really fucking does.
Like, I hate comic book Twitter. There's some unknown fucking actor that people are like, he looks exactly like Oliver Queen. Hire him. It's like, is he a good actor? What's he been in? I looked up his IMDb. He's barely been in fucking anything. It's like, why would Warner Brothers just because, like, Twitter mind is like, this guy wore an outfit once and he kind of looks like Batman. Hire him immediately. It's like, what? Just because someone looks like something doesn't mean you should just hire him. It's all about acting abilities and stuff like that. Like,
unless you're
Jesus.
Patterson, who doesn't believe in actually, getting jacked for the role.
But, I love the Batman. That's such a good take. And that's what I mean. It's such a different take from Batman, the comics. I fucking loved it. It was like, I've seen that. I love the Batman. I've seen it 4 times. Oh my God. It's so good. What are you talking? You don't like the Batman? And I'm the one with the hot takes here. You don't like the Batman?
No. Like, okay, it was not terrible. Let me be very clear. It was not the worst thing ever.
Talk about a hot take. We got to come up. All right, next stream, if nothing is going on, we list 5 hot takes we have, because that's a fucking spicy one right there.
Oh, Lord. A realistic Batman?
What the fuck was the Dark Knight? The Dark Knight was a realistic Batman. What are you talking about?
But guess what? The guy actually got jacked.
Okay, you can't why you don't like the movie on how he looks. How is the acting? How is the cinematography? How is the story? Just because Robert Pattinson didn't want to lift a couple weights and he still looked fine. Like, what the fuck? He just was a leaner Batman.
Oh, no, he was small. Shut up with the leader. Not that he was small.
What? So you like if you're gonna sit here and tell me that Ben Affleck was a better Batman, I'm going to throw myself off the balcony
In terms of physicality
I
alone,
fuck it. Okay,
yes.
whatever. I mean, yeah, Ben Affleck's was modeled after Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns Batman. Like, yeah, like I will say though, the fan casting for the in continuity Batman, because it's not going to be Robert Pattinson for the movies. The guy who plays Reacher is I think is a good pick.
Yes, I
forget his
enjoy
name. Let me
him.
pull him up.
He got the muscularity, and he definitely got the acting down. He could definitely be a good Batman. Bruce Wayne. I don't know about
Bruce
that.
Wayne, a little.
I'd have to see that.
He more. You know what? He's more like an absolute Batman now that I'm looking at him. This man is fucking. Holy shit. I think I'm gay now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna end the stream there. No, just kidding. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Daredevil. If nothing comes up next week, we should definitely do a hot takes stream. I think that would be a lot of fun because that's a crazy fucking take that you don't like the Batman. That's fucking nuts to me. But we can't go on another hour. I can't do it. I've already mentally broken over talking about Daredevil. I can't. But anyways, guys, that is going to be it for the stream. Let me know if you agree. I feel like a lot of you are not going to agree with me, but that's fine. You know, people get. I wish I could live in your world where everyone just calls this peak, and you go home.
Speak. Let me repeat. This
No.
is
I'm saying people in general. Like basically, I'm saying Twitter.
Yeah.
Where people just say peak, no flaws. This is great. I wish I could live in your world. I just can't. I can't do it. I have to. Whatever I don't see in this, what it is. That's just my view. If your view is this is great, this is the second coming of Christ, then good on you. I'm so glad. Or if you're like Leon, where it's like overall pretty good, it's got some faults in it. I also wish I could live in that world, but I live in my world. It's a very unfortunate thing. Besides me getting married, I mean that's gonna pop off and that's gonna be fucking fantastic. But,
Woo!
but anyways, Leon, would you like to say anything to the people before we end this stream?
Hi, I wrote a book.
He did.
It's called Patron Saint of Murder. You can see it on Amazon. It's also like, hey, you can find it in Barnes and Noble. It's also on Apple Books. Give it a read. You know, we got, plenty of people have been, looking at it. Got a couple of reviews. It's an urban fantasy mystery. Detective solving a case.
Yep.
People got murdered. Come on, guys. Have
Everyone
fun.
loves
Like,
it
if
when
you
people get murdered.
Like if you like a good detective story with fantasy elements into it, like the tagline I gave it, it's pretty much Harry Dresden, or rather Sherlock Holmes and Harry Dresden world, or Harry Dresden and Christmas Carol. One of those things. So yeah, if you like that kind of stuff, be sure to give it a read. It's Patron Saint of Murder by Mr. X. That's my pen name. Go ahead, give it a read, check it out. Tell me what your thoughts is, and if you've read it, be sure to leave a review. All right, that's it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week.